Welcome to Thrifty Garage. My name is Carson, and in today's video, we're on the hunt for the best truck tires for towing. Earlier this year, I was on the hunt for tires for my wife's Toyota 4Runner. After some searching and comparing the numbers, I chose to go with General Grabber ATx tires. If you're interested in checking out that video, I'll leave a link at the end of this video. Obviously, finding tires for the 4Runner and the work truck are completely different. When I was looking for tires for the 4Runner, there was a lot of information out there, what tires work well for my particular circumstances and situation. But when I'm searching for the work truck, I couldn't find the same information. It was really difficult to find tires that were built for towing, that would last well, give me good miles a gallon, and give me good traction. This winter I'll be doing plowing, so I need to have good traction for that, as well as when I'm towing trailers. I've got a diesel truck, it's got plenty of power to put down, and even with the added traction of a heavy trailer behind it, I'm finding myself spinning tires not only on wet road conditions, but under gravel conditions as well. After doing a ton of research, I determined that the right tire was right in front of me. So here we've got the General Grabber ATx tires, which I've had on the 4Runner for basically this whole year now. I've had them on for a full year. Obviously there's a lot of differences between an SUV tire and a towing tire. So initially I didn't think that there was any correlation, and that's why I didn't immediately look at this tire. Things that I learned from having it on the 4Runner is that it had the longevity I was looking for. It had a 50,000 mile warranty, and it had good wear patterns. I do recommend rotations. That's one of the negative things, is I would recommend 5,000 mile rotations. But I think that's true with any aggressive tire. Decent gas mileage, I think that's going to be the case again on the towing vehicle. I know that the traction worked really well. I use the SUV in a variety of conditions, on and off road, in the dirt, on pavement, in mud. Excellent traction. Snow and ice, again, excellent traction. So I knew that would meet my needs on the towing side of things. One of the biggest cons with the 4Runner tires, which I'll again see in the truck, is they pick up rocks like crazy. This tire is, I believe, a 1/16 of an inch taller than the BFG KO2s. It's a really tall tread, and it's got an aggressive tread bite. So there's rooms in the lugs for rocks to get stuck in there. It's going to happen. If it's going to pick up and be aggressive in the mud, it's also going to pick up rocks. So if I pull off the pavement at all onto a gravel road, it immediately picks up rocks, and then it's going to be slinging those rocks. Why is that a disadvantage? Well, again, this is a commercial vehicle. I use this for towing for my business. It's going to be slinging rocks at windshields, but whether you're towing a boat or a camper, you don't want those rocks slinging over that either. So that is a con that should be you be mindful of, but it's a con that I'm okay with. I've always wanted to do this, so here's my opportunity. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button down below. Now back to tires. Here we've got our first big ice storm of the season. Wipers could use some improvement, but these General Grabber tires, the ATx, they are really hooking up. A little bit of sliding side to side, but when I give it gas, they want to move forward. They're grabbing pretty good. So pretty happy with that. It's a rear-wheel drive truck. I don't have a lot of weight in the bed, maybe a couple 100 pounds right now. I've got half a dozen bags of salt, but nothing crazy. I need to load up a pallet of salt, and then that should add a couple 1,000 pounds to my rear wheels, and that'll help traction. But I'm not even 4-wheel drive, and no issues. Take a look at these meaty tires. These are the rears. They've definitely taken some abuse. First snowstorm with them, plowing, lots of cuts and scrapes. I did notice that under hard acceleration, these do kind of spread apart more, if you will, which is what they're intended to do, which is something that I haven't seen so much on the 4Runner, but you can see it's pretty apparent here. Almost kind of looks like it's cupping, it's got ridges, so wherever it's grabbing, it's pulling back on those pieces. So we can go look at the fronts and see the difference. The fronts still have their little knobbies around the edges, and you see how worn these are right here, just a little bit of a lip lift right there. So here's a look at the front tires. You can see how this front leading edge still has that there. These are brand new, they had that ridge all the way around. So these tires, even though they've only got maybe 1,000 miles on them, have seen some really hard miles already. You can see the ridges in these too. But these are not as separated and pulled apart as the rears. Definitely getting some abuse turning wise, but they aren't receiving the traction. In fact, I've never even had it in 4-wheel drive yet since I've had these on. So hasn't received any torque here. They're just a steer tire at this point. Love the stance on these. They do kind of stick out. Good stance, good look, and they've got a nice sidewall too. A nice aggressive sidewall. And these are pretty wide, up in an upgraded size over stock, so they're pretty wide on the rim as well. One disadvantage of going to wide is it starts to make kind of a balloon shape. So one negative repercussion of that is I might receive heavy tread wear in the center and lighter tread wear on the sides, meaning when this is at the end of its life, the tread in the middle will be gone and there might still be some tread depth on the outsides. But that's kind of just a side effect that you know, comes with putting bigger tires on trucks and wider tires. I'm not sure if you can see how rounded over that is, but these center lugs, you can see they're pretty flat, and these outer lugs kind of are tapering off to the side just slightly. Like I said, that's a side effect of choosing to go upgraded tire size. I decided to go with an oversized tire for my truck. Personally, I prefer the looks of that. With the 4Runner, I did the same thing. Went as big as I could on a stock suspension. I'm not a big fan of lifting my vehicles crazy. It just starts to eat at your components, your suspension components, your drivetrain. It's inevitable. CV shafts are going to start going bad. Stuff's going to start wearing out. I love the look of lifted trucks, but as I've gotten older and more mature, functionally, I can't justify the cost of the added maintenance and the time invested in maintenance, and it's just not as usable anymore. I've got a family, and lifting those kids up into the car, it's no fun. Same with the work truck. I use the bed all the time, and I don't want to have a super tall and high truck. Loading dirt in and out, debris, whatnot. So having stock suspension is important to me, but I still love fitting bigger tires on there. Another reason I chose to go with the bigger tires is for my plow. When I got my plow mounted, the mechanic said, you've got a really low frame on this truck, and those plow mounts are super close to the ground, and because they're sticking out in front of the vehicle, they like to scrape everywhere. So I did a few different adjustments up front to try and get the front suspension up higher, and these tires I probably gained another inch with the tires. With this tire size, this bumper's seen better days. I had to do some repairs to it, but it is touching right here occasionally, as well as in the back here. You might be able to see where this has been rubbing just ever so slightly when the suspension compresses. So this is definitely the max tire size I would recommend. But with that, we did get the plow height up high enough. So this plow height, you can see these brackets, how much they drop down. And even when the plow's on, this plow section's even almost an inch lower there. So this really hangs down far. Now that I've raised up the front of this vehicle about 1.5 to maybe 2.5 inches, that's helping substantially. You know, this is maybe 6 inches off the ground, 6-7 inches if I were to guess. Thanks for watching this Thrifty Garage video. I will also be doing a long-term review on the tires of the 4Runner. I believe they've got about 10 or 15,000 miles on them. I'll definitely put that in that video. So check out that long-term review video on these General Grabber ATx tires, as well as thanks for watching this video on towing capacity. I will report back on their towing capabilities. Like I said, I really do believe that they're going to do well, and I'm excited to put these on and put them to good use. Again, thanks for watching Thrifty Garage. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Comparing the numbers. Slow down. Slow down.